Hello viewers, good morning. Now in my previous video, I told you how we can change the matter from one state to the other state, right? And I told you that we need to apply some temperature or bring a change in pressure so that we can change the state. But in some cases, we do not need to apply any pressure or provide any temperature. Like you must have seen when we put our clothes out for drying. We do not need to apply any temperature or pressure. Still, they get they get dry. How? Water evaporates from that, right? And you are very much familiar with this term evaporation, which we are going to study today. You have been studying in your previous classes also about it, right? So what is evaporation? Evaporation is change of state only from liquid to gaseous state. But here the temperature that is provided to it, that is below the boiling point. That day we learned, in the previous video we learned that whenever we apply temperature or heat, we increase the temperature, we increase the heat, bring it to the boiling point of the liquid, it starts evaporating. But when the liquid evaporates below its boiling point, that is called as evaporation. Now what is the difference between boiling and evaporation? One is that boiling, it takes place at a particular temperature. Like for water it is 100 degrees Celsius. But evaporation takes place below the boiling point. Another most important difference is that boiling takes place in a bulk. That is, the whole liquid will start boiling. But evaporation takes place only at the surface, right? Like if we take water here in the beaker, only at the surface, the particles which are present here at the surface, right, they get the heat, or we will study about the other factors also, and they get evaporated. Right? So this process is called evaporation. One example I already told you, like when we dry the clothes, the water gets evaporated. Another example, we get what actually happens here. The particles, they take the heat from the surrounding. When they take heat from the surrounding, they will start evaporating. They will start with again that vibration, or the energy will be gained. They'll start vibrating and they will start moving towards the surrounding. So what happens here? This will gain some energy, and as a result the particles will move away. That is, from the surface they will move out. Then another example we can take of acetone, or the nail polish remover. If you put it on your palm, you feel the surface of your hand, the palm, very cold. Why? What happens? When you put the acetone on the palm, it will take the heat, that is your body heat, and as a result, it will evaporate. So that heat energy is taken away. When the heat energy is taken away, that surface will feel cold. Or one more example we can take, that in summers you sprinkle water on the rooftop so that it may become cold. What happens? When you sprinkle water, the rooftop, it is already hot, right? So the water will take that heat energy and it will move out, that is, move in the atmosphere. It will get evaporated. So this is all taking place at the surface, and the rooftop will become cold, right? So whenever there is liquid evaporating, what happens? The surrounding becomes cold. Or when you you take you can say water in a glass, right? And you put, it's very cold water, you put some ice cubes also in. You see the water droplets outside the glass. What happens? It takes the heat from the surrounding and the water starts evaporating. Now what happens? The outside surface, again the vapors, they will condense and you will see the water droplets on the sides of the glass. In summers, you use coolers. Why do they throw cold air inside the room? Why? Because you know that water is running on the sides, it has got pads on the sides, the water is running through it. What will happen? It takes all the heat from the surrounding, from the room and evaporate it. And because that water is flowing continuously, the heat energy goes out and the cold air comes inside the room. Or you must have seen the matka. If you put water inside that pot, pot का पानी ठंडा हो जाता है. क्यों ठंडा हो जाता है? That has got pores on the sides. If you put it in some other steel pot or any other pot, that will not become cold. While in the earthen pot, that is in the matka, it becomes cold. Why? From those pores, the heat will be going out, right? And the water inside becomes cold. That heat energy moves out from the water. So these are all examples of evaporation. There are certain, then one more thing, when you wear cotton clothes in the summer, you feel better. But in the synthetic cold, you don't feel comfortable. Why is it so? Now the cotton clothes also, they will absorb all the sweat. The sweat that comes out from the body, that is absorbed by the cotton clothes and gets evaporated. So when it gets evaporated, the inside temperature becomes little less and you feel better. But if you are wearing synthetic clothes, what will happen? The water will not be, that sweat will not be evaporated and you feel uncomfortable, right? So there are certain factors which control evaporation. Now what are those factors? First is the surface area. Now just now I told you that evaporation is a surface phenomenon. You know, boiling, it takes place throughout the liquid. While evaporation, it takes place only at the surface, right? So more is the surface area, more will be the evaporation. Like when you wash the clothes, if you just put all the clothes together to get dried, it will take lots of time. But if you spread them out nicely, the surface area will be increased. The evaporation will also take place easily, more quickly, and the clothes will get dried. So more the surface area, more is the evaporation. You drink hot milk or tea or coffee in a cup, right? It remains hot for a longer time. But if you put it in some saucer, in a plate, you increase the surface area. You can drink it more easily, it becomes cold more easily. So, more the surface area, more will be the evaporation. Second is temperature. More the temperature, more will be the evaporation. Like on a hot sunny day, the clothes dry faster. Why? Because due to sun's heat, the water will evaporate more quickly. Third is wind speed. Now, if the speed of the wind is more will be the evaporation. Right? On a windy day also, the clothes dry very fast. What happens? when these vapors, they are moving out, suppose they are moving out, right, like this, what will happen? The wind, when it is blowing fast, these will be blown away along with the wind. More space will be created. Actually, in the air, the air particles are far from each other. So, when the water particles take these places, right? When the water particles will take this place, there will be no space left, right? But for more water to evaporate. But if the wind is blowing fast, these will be just taken away by the wind. Then more water particles will move out. They will take this place. Again the wind will come and blow them away. So more the wind speed, more will be the evaporation. Then fourth and the last factor is humidity. What is humidity? Humidity means the quantity of water particles in the air. That is, just now as I told you, the air particles, they are far apart from each other, and water particles take the place in between. Right? Now, when it is monsoon season or rainy season or rainy day, you can say, the clothes do not dry very quickly on a rainy day. Why? Because already the air is saturated with these particles. Right? So, because the air is already filled with these water particles, there is no place for those water particles from the clothes to go and fill the places. So, that is why they take more time. The clothes take more time to dry. So, more is the humidity, less is the evaporation. These three factors, they are directly proportional to evaporation. More is the surface area, more is the temperature, more is the wind speed, the more will be the evaporation. But if humidity is more, less will be the evaporation. Humidity is less, more will be the evaporation. Right? So, I hope you have understood this topic also, that is evaporation, and with this we finish this chapter also. If you have liked my video, children, please share, comment and like my video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.